everyone. We're back with another amazing interview. I have with me here Dr. LaShay Atkins, who is an amazing client of mine. We've worked together now for what, 2 years now? I don't even know.
Yeah, since 2021.
Nice. Okay. Dr. LaShay, would you mind just like introducing yourself to the audience so that we can at least kick off from your introduction?
Yes, so I am Dr. Jennifer LaShay Atkins. A lot of my friends know me as LaShay. I am a pediatrician and I currently reside in South Mississippi and have been doing so since 2018, from originally from Georgia. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. I have four amazing kids, a wonderful husband, and we absolutely love living here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It's pretty much a hidden gem. People talk about New Orleans. It is a day drive away,
Mhm.
but we love our area for sure.
Amazing. And you see, like that piece of info will come up as pretty important when we get into your story about your property. But were you always in real estate? Have you like been like an investing guru for like all your life? Like how are we even here talking right now?
So no, I have not always been in real estate. Come from a very simple background, went to med school, and initially, I was in the mindset of, I'm gonna work till I die, because I'm in that field at pediatrics. So we joke about it, but we're the low paid physicians. We're the teachers of the physician world. But I feel like my journey towards real estate really began in 2020. Everything shut down. I just had a baby. I was at home, and it was a lot. And so I pretty much at that point made up and, just I had my mind set that, this isn't it. This isn't going to be me working and depending on somebody and, just living check to check, worried about how I was going to make ends meet, despite working full time. And if I need to take time off, I want to be able to do it. I have four children, and a newborn at the time. And so that's really where, the gears got going. Definitely signed up for multiple programs just to learn, not necessarily to act, but I just wanted to figure out, if it was something I could do, was it something that I would be interested in? And yep, signed up for a few courses. And then you definitely came across my timeline several times. And so I was like, I'm going to try and see what she's talking about. And so I signed up for your class in 2021 and the rest is history. So got everything together, literally step by step by step. That was what I needed. I needed to be some hand holding. Because a lot of people, they will literally do classes for years and years and years and never take action. And so that was what was helpful for me, was just like, okay, we're going to get this mindset in check, and we're going to take action.
And you actually started with rental arbitrage. Do you want to just explain that a little bit? Just share a bit of that journey.
Yeah. So because I do have pediatrician money, I thought maybe my money wasn't long enough to make those bigger purchases. And again, for me, arbitrage was another way of taking action.
Yes.
But also still just getting my feet wet just a bit, because there's not, there's a commitment, but it's like a year or two, however you decide to set up your arbitrage. But it was pretty simple. Like we got our script together. We reached out to multiple locations, let them know what we were doing, because everything needs to be on the up and up. We don't want to do no underhanded kind of stuff. So let them know what we're doing. And probably within maybe 2 to 3 weeks, we found a location and they offered us not one, but two apartments that we were able to arbitrage. And it was great. I think it went well. What I learned from that experience though is I wanted more control. And so I wanted to make more updates and changes, and I just was limited. Like I had to depend on, their staff to do a lot of the things. And that was one of the things I didn't like, but it allowed me to gain so much knowledge starting with the arbitrage and let me know what I was comfortable with. And so whenever I did decide to purchase, it was that much easier. I already had my plan in place. I already knew what I needed to buy. So that made my journey just, Yeah, just easier
Yeah.
in general.
So let me
So
actually even pause here because I just realized that I didn't even introduce what arbitrage was. Can you just break down in like 30 seconds what is rental arbitrage for those who have never heard of it before?
so arbitrage is essentially when you rent out a location. So you're not the owner of the location, and you do either midterm rentals, long-term rentals. Well, probably not long-term rentals, but
Yeah.
short-term rentals, midterm
Short-term
rentals
rentals, midterm
out of
rentals.
that space with the permission of the owner. You would get insurance for that. And so everything is insured. A lot of them actually require you to put the owner on the insurance as well as a named person on there. And so that, in short, that's what it is. You're renting
Yeah.
out a space, and that's rented out to you.
Yep. So back in 2021, I think that's when yeah. So back in 2021, we did that course then,
Mhm.
and that was how you came into our world.
Yes.
That was after we had done our arbitrage sprint where we got 10 in like 3 months. So for those who are listening, if you're thinking, you know what, I don't have, money, or I don't want to spend a ton of money right now, arbitrage is usually one way that people use to expand their cash flow. It's a cash flow play. It's something that you can do. It gets you in the game. It gets you operating a short-term rental. But in your case, though, I'm excited about the shift that happened for you going from arbitrage to buying. Do you want to share about that?
Sure. So like I was saying, you your control over the situation when you're renting from someone else is pretty limited. You do have to play a lot by their rules. But after being in Territory Mastermind, you get introduced to a lot of people that have a lot of tools that you can use to expand things. So, here I am thinking, man, I got to put down this amount, and if I buy a house at $60,000, I'll never be able to afford it. But that's actually not in fact true. So I was able to expand without putting down this huge, amount of money. And then you learn about all the other things you can do, house hacking and things like that. And so you realize that growth is literally within everyone's reach if you think about it. Yeah. And so, that's pretty much how our journey started.
Yep. So you finally decided that, oh well, you realized that it was within your reach. Now, how did you pick where to even start? Like what city, what location?
So I never even considered the Gulf Coast. I'm not from here, so I wasn't even aware of the opportunities here in the area until after I started, with my locations in Houston, Texas. But AirDNA and just understanding how to calculate your cash on cash, so you can pretty much run that number for any address. And then once you start to plug the number in, you'll know right away, is this deal going to work or not? Like, it was literally just that simple. So it's plug and play is kind of how I look at it. Like, you're just like, oh, okay, so this is pretty much what I'll make. I put in the right numbers, and that's it. So I wanted a location that was closer to me. Obviously, you can do this from anywhere. You really can. But I wanted something closer because I had a couple of new ideas. My cowboy pool, like things that I knew my husband, he's an electrician, he would be able to help with kind of managing that. So I wanted something closer. So this time I looked in the Mississippi Gulf Coast area, which now that I'm kind of thinking back, I'm like, I wish I had done this. The interest rates were a little bit better, but also doesn't matter because we can always, refinance that later. But I probably would have had several, a few more houses by now if I had done it then. But that's neither here nor there. But we just love the location. We just never realized how many people actually even come from New Orleans, Slidell, the Louisiana in general, that are coming to the Mississippi Gulf Coast to enjoy our beaches, enjoy our food, because it's amazing food here as well. And so once I kind of put all that kind of, in the mix, it was an easy choice to choose right down the road. It's about an hour and a half from where we live, from where we live. And so it's a great location and it's affordable.
Yes, I remember. Yes, that's definitely a plus that you have down there. So let's talk a little bit, because I think you're probably one of the few people that I can now ask this in terms of like, because some people may be wondering, but then, okay, I'm a physician, I'm a professional. How do you manage all of this? Like, you're still working, right? Like, how do you have a property 1 hour away and you're talking about like, oh yeah, that's close. It's like, if I have to drive a whole hour, then how do you keep up with all of that and still be at work?
So automation is key, and having a good team is key, particularly your cleaners. So for us, our cleaners, honestly, do 99% of the work. They're gonna help me maintain my what I need in the home, whether it's toilet tissue, things like that. They'll let me know when I need it so I can order it, send it to the door. We have had them pick up things before. I actually hired somebody that was kind of what we call a runner. And so I hired them to come and even check behind the cleaners just in case they miss something. Because especially here in this beach town, it's turnover after turnover after turnover. So every now and then something does get missed. But if I have that second person who I'm paying, honestly, maybe $50 per run, then that includes everything that needs to be done that day. For those turnarounds, the same day flips where you're having one guest leave and one guest come in. It was just a lifesaver. And so she's, that person is my backup. And then everything else can be done from the phone, to be quite honest. Once you have your system that you use, whether it's Airbnb, VRBO, your what we call a PMS, your
no manager.
Yeah, your property manager, it's automated. You put all the information in there. They automatically send out the hellos and the thank yous to guests. I see you looking at our property. It can even answer questions for you before you even get there. A lot of times I'm seeing in the middle of seeing patients like, oh, I got, a request or an inquiry and it's already answered it for me. And I was like, okay, yeah, that works. And so it's just, if you have a phone, you can run your business from anywhere. And like I said, you need two good people or two good things to run your business: a phone, internet, a cleaner, and then somebody to run those errands for you, which, like I said, is very affordable. And the majority of the things are done by the cleaners.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Well, I mean, that's the whole master class right there. We can pack this up and go. Teach it. When I say it, someone may be thinking, well, you have the screen in front of you, you have the stage. Maybe it's not as simple. Maybe you're trying to sell a course. Maybe you're whatever, right? But you are literally doing this in the middle of your regular life and still being able to keep up with everything. Okay. Now, are there any things that you wish you knew before you got started that you're like, you know what, if anybody's thinking about this, I think they should know this?
For me, the setup, in the very beginning, you do need to make sure that you're on top of your setup. And so the first two times, my first two locations, I did everything myself, and I wanted to outsource for the third time. But I paid for somebody to do it, but I don't know if I would necessarily recommend that for everyone, because there's going to be a lot of hidden costs whenever you're paying people. Things may not end up like you want. And so even though you feel like you're overwhelmed, there are so many companies that can help literally put all of your things in one box and mail it to you. I recommend you using that service over, and maybe helping somebody come in after the fact to help stage it a bit. But honestly, just do it yourself. You can outsource everything else, but just coming from somebody who spent a little bit more money than I planned, just do it yourself initially, and then maybe have somebody come in and help you stage it a bit if you still want some style designs and things like that. But that initial order, that bulk order of furniture and things like that, go ahead and get it done yourself. There are so many tools out there, literally, just like I said, it was, can automate everything. It's the same thing on your phone. They literally have places where you can just say, okay, I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath location. I have, you put it in and it'll drop down all the things, and you can just pick what you do and don't want. It's just that simple. So outsource later, but not the initial setup. I think it can get costly.
Yeah, there is something to be said about that very first one. And this is coming now from me. So my very first one were the ones down in Dallas. I did not touch a single thing with those ones, but I was in the weeds of like ordering every single item. So even though I didn't touch them physically, even though I wasn't there, I knew where everything was because I basically ordered every single thing. Now, when we were up here though, for the Syracuse ones or the lake ones, when I actually had to do the physical setup, I was like, this actually takes a little longer than I thought, because it takes time. Because when you have to pay someone, you're like, why are they charging me, whatever $1,000? Like, isn't it just? And then you do it yourself.
Yeah. So I had the opposite experience. I did it myself the first time, then I paid somebody. But for me, somewhere in between is the best everything in a TaskRabbit is your best friend. Furniture places. A lot of times, instead of you trying to set up this stuff yourself, if you actually pay like somebody like TaskRabbit to do it, you can get a lot done for still a smaller amount of money than pay somebody to set it up. Like a stage to stay. Don't do it. Do not do it. If you're trying to save money, don't do it. That's my only regret since I started this whole process is do not do stage to stay. It's not worth it.
Or stage to stay.
That means that you have an interior decorator do everything.
Do every single
from ordering and things like that. And so, and I know not everybody's like that, but sometimes, the money gets away from people. And so you may have a budget. And so and this is super important, when you're running those numbers, if that person who is on your team that's setting everything up, they go beyond that could really mess up your returns. And the deal doesn't even make sense anymore. So that's what you don't want. So I say, have that person maybe come in and touch up things and, because you can return whatever after the fact, but like do the initial setup yourself, hire somebody to come set it up, friends, family, whomever, have somebody do all that work for you, and then have the professional, if you want that interior decorator, I come in and do it. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah. I think even now that you're mentioning it, that's even a service that just kind of consults with you if you don't have design sense. Get someone who can do the design consultation with you. They can point you to what you should get, and then you can have like your TaskRabbit type people maybe like install furniture, like put the chairs together and whatnot. Save you energy, save you time. I love it. Okay. So now you have the first one. What's your outlook? How, like, are you thinking of getting many more? Are you happy with one? Like, where are you in this kind of thought process?
So I want a beach view, and so even though I'm only a mile, so I picked my location first off because I'm a mom, and like I said, I have 4 kids, and we offer an affordable vacation, so it's not going to be $800 a night, and so I wanted something for the smaller, mid-sized family. And then I wanted, and then the goal is to also have something for, maybe some bigger families, people that want the ocean view, they want to walk to the ocean. And then, the area that I chose is also kind of being revitalized. So there's a lot of properties, $25,000, a lot of older people that are retiring. So there's a lot of opportunity. And so I'm going to definitely do some rehab. I'm already kind of thinking about doing rehab, and then I want to purchase a turnkey. What we have now is completely remodeled, but it's remodeled. The house was built in 1940s. You can't tell. You can't tell, but like it's beautiful on the inside, but it's still an older home. I do want to, I want to see how the turnkey stuff goes. So but I enjoy it. I just enjoy the setup. I love the end product. I love, your guests. Once you get that first guest and they're just like, this is the most amazing place I ever stayed. I can't believe it. This is great. And your prices are awesome. It's just kind of all worth it. Just kind of like that parent walking out of the office saying, they just appreciate everything I do. I get that same feeling because, it's the service industry. Yeah. Thank you so much. I work so hard to get where I am, so that's the best part.
Amazing. I think you're the first person that has really brought up that like joy of seeing the result of your work and seeing the joy that it actually brings to families, because families are appreciative.
Yep.
They really are. So now I think when we first met, we met in like, the different online spaces where people talk about like multiple streams of income. So let's talk a little bit about that, because I know that there are some people that are listening that are like, medicine is doing medicine, right? Medicine is medicining, right? And I'm trying to think of like options. I'm trying to think of like other things that are, to basically try my hands on. I know you've done a number of things, but you have a couple of things that you're actively working on. So short-term rentals is one of them. And I think you like how that's going. But what are some other things that you've also done or are doing?
And so I'm, like I said earlier, I'm a pediatrician, and a lot of people don't know this, but I have a daughter who's neurodivergent. And so I also, am providing a space for parents and, others to come and just, get different kind of therapies. Now, I'm not actually offering therapies, but there's a few companies that I work with that I thought had really good programs for, some of my younger teens and, even my young adults, because we see through age 21 and sometimes 23, 24, because they don't want to leave the practice. But I just wanted an option for them, for the busy parent, or even just a parent who can't get the kid to leave the house. So even text therapy, group therapy, book therapy. There's so many different types of therapy. So that's one of the things that I'm offering. So that's drjeninspiration.com.
Dr. What?
Dr. Jen Inspiration.
Okay, so
DrJeninspiration.
Oh, okay.
Inspiration.
Got it. Now, is that like group, or like how exactly does that work?
So right now we are, I don't have an actual group yet. It's just a space where you can access information.
Got it.
That's where we are right now. Definitely coming in the works. There's a few books that's in the works of being published. So we're at the very beginning phase of it. Like I said, my daughter is my inspiration, but I just want parents that have gone through what we've been through to just have access to information. Technically, you have access to me too. So if they need to reach out to me personally, then I'm definitely here for them. That's not an issue.
Okay. And then you also have the other one too, the water thing.
Yes. So mental health and wellness. And so that goes along with it. And so hydration. So one of the things that we always talk about I always talk about with my patients is, what's your diet like? You're coming in here with headaches, difficulty sleeping, tummy aches, can't poop regularly, that kind of thing. And I find that at least 90% of the time, the diet and intake of, inadequate amounts of water will fix the issues if we actually kind of improve our hydration. And so that's super, super important. And so for me, joining that company, doing marketing with them, because it definitely aligns with my passion of mental health and wellness. So I've joined them. So come and find me. I'm on Facebook, Dr. Jennifer Atkins, LaShay Atkins, MD. My page is public. So if you want to learn more, find out about it, you can always reach out to my personal page.
I know I like always see your posts about the water thing. I'm just like, I don't know what it is, but your skin looks really good.
And the water is good. Like, most people be like, I don't want to drink no water. I want some lemonade or some tea or, something like that, green tea. But no, water, it is yummy. I never would have imagined my kids. We've always drank water, don't get me wrong, but it's like tripled, like all day long. That's all my kids want is water. And that says a lot, especially a little kid, a young kid, 3-year-old coming in saying you want water. Yeah. And not juice. That's awesome.
Okay. So if you were talking to just like a group of friends about your plans for growth overall, where is your head currently when it comes to just growth as a physician, as an entrepreneur? We're at the beginning of 2024 right now.
Yeah.
Paint me a picture.
So I think at some point, because I want to offer a more hands-on approach with medicine and everything else, while also allowing myself more time with my family, at some point I'll probably transition to like a direct primary care kind of model. I just feel like I can reach more people that way, again, while also preserving a lot more family time. So that'll be where I'll be transitioning in the next, 3 to 5 years. Or so, and continue to grow my hospitality business as well, and as my mental health. So I just want growth moving in the same direction that I'm growing in. That's where I see it. It's just bigger and better, hopefully bring more physicians on, more, like-minded individuals on to help me grow the business as well with me, grow beside me.
Amazing. I ask these questions because I'm like, people need to just see that the people getting short-term rentals are just regular. They're just people.
Regular folks, mommies, daddies.
Like, we're just
not rich. Tons of school debt.
We need to give you a couple more months inside territory. How about that, okay? Because we need to break off this not rich sentiment from you.
I gotta do better, huh? I didn't start rich, but we'll end wealthy. That's what I mean.
And I'm like, look at her now talking about buying the second and third property beachfront, talking about Norwich. Don't let me get you.
Not yet.
Amazing. Thank you so much for hopping on with us, Dr. LaShay. Now, how can people find you?
So you can find me at Dr. Jennifer Atkins, MD, or Dr. LaShay Atkins, MD on Facebook, HomeAway HQ on Instagram and Facebook, and Dr. Jen Inspiration on TikTok and Instagram.
Okay. So HomeAway HQ, if you want to see her properties, I think that's where you find them.
Yep, HomeAwayHQ.com. Actually, we have our own website. So Book Direct, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and say that. Stop booking on these platforms. You find that owner and you book direct, save yourself some cash, save both of us some cash. Everybody has to pay fees when they're on those platforms. So if that person has a their own website, you should book direct. You can find it. Actually, it's a website called HiChee, HICHEE.com. You put in your you can use like your Airbnb the link. You put that into their website. Everything will pop up, their Airbnb total cost, their VRBO total cost, and then your total cost for booking direct. HiChee.
Okay, we learned something.
Awesome.
Thanks for hanging out with us, Dr. Atkins. And I'm going to let you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day.
All right. You do the same.
I hope you got a ton of value from this interview. Now, if you got any value from it, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to get your copy of the STR Blueprint to get your first or next short-term rental, go to thestRbook.com.